Tiny Toys Tuesdays, episode 45. We have made it. We have made it to the finish line of the indexes, finally.
We got through the slog of all the orcs and the
I
gits
mean,
and
what? We're 6 weeks? No, 2 months? 6 weeks? 2 months?
something like that.
We made it. um, so today we're talking about the ogres and the sons of Behemat, and then we will finish the indices, which is good. It's just me and Cameron today, but Cameron's well versed in the ogre plays because he's done it quite a bit for fourth edition. So
I like my belly boys, my blue ogres as I've painted them.
um,
And surprisingly, I've gotten very acquainted with giants over the last week.
there you go, there you go. All right, but other than that, Cameron, I heard you picked up a new army.
Yes, I just got a Zinch army from an eBay, and so now I'm going to be slowly building that up and seeing how I like it.
Are
Right
they
now,
are they painted?
like 3 models, and those 3 models are not the ones that I'm using.
Okay, fair, fair. Yeah, Zincher's in a good spot right now. So
Yeah, yeah, they are.
we,
I expect them to be one of the top ones.
yeah, I don't know if they'll I don't know if they'll outdo Lumineth or Nighthaunt yet, but they'll be close.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to play Zinch. My problem is I never wanted to buy all the pink horrors and blue horrors and brimstones that are practically mandatory for Zinch. Um, and then I saw this like a star in the night on this eBay lot, and it just had a crap ton of them, just like a little bit of everything for Zinch. And I was like,
Perfect.
all right, it's
Jesus,
cheap. This is my sign.
I think I've got an obnoxious amount of unpainted. Let's see, I've got 53 pink horrors because, like, why? Of course you need them, and then 66 blue horrors and 60 brimstones.
Hey, if you want to unload some of those my way,
I mean, yeah, I mean you can definitely take some of those for sure. I do not need that many.
because I'll take them and I'll paint them my scheme, and
Sure.
you know,
I mean, I don't even care what they're painted like. All of my zine stuff is all mix and match right now, so it's all over the place.
just as these should be.
It's part of the plan. Um, Other than that, I haven't really been doing too much AOS stuff. I did check out the new. I don't know if you've been there yet. The new Gamers Guild.
I have not.
It is it is incredible. That place. They did a good job with that store. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Like I don't know how much they would charge to host a tournament there, but I am very interested. Like it
Hmm.
is a very cool place. I recommend it highly.
Have you been the? Which is very funny. Uh, that all these stores are opening up are at the same time. Have you been to the Mox Boarding House?
No.
It's also a store that literally, I think it opened up like the same week,
Wow.
and it's a restaurant and gaming store, and like it has tables for tournaments. It's mostly card stuff, but it still has some stuff for like tabletop games.
Where's that?
Uh, about a 5 minute walk from my house.
Oh well, that's good. That's good for you.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: it's not gonna compete on Gamers Guild level.
Oh, from everything that I see, I agree.
Erica told me it is the biggest game store in North America
Damn.
by like 40 feet. It's massive. When you go in there, you are like, whoa, this is crazy. Uh, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's quite a drive for you though. But I definitely recommend getting up there at least once to check it out.
Fair.
All right. Anyway, let's jump into some ogres. Tier list explanation. This is kind of how we judge things. Again, this is just our thoughts, what we like, what we don't like. Definitely not an in-depth review, but there's tons of them out now, especially now. It's been a while, so check those out if you want an in-depth review. But I'll start with the summary, and you tell me what I missed.
All right.
Um, we'll just start with the bad. bad internal balance here. It is one of the sub factions is not like the other. We'll say that. They are deceptively fast, and I'm not talking about the monster trucks. I'm talking about the little guys. They are deceptively
Who
fast.
knew that like some of the fastest people were the infantry and not the actual?
Big fat guys. They're moving. They're hauling.
Yeah.
They're hungry. So not much variety in terms of competitive lists. Most competitive lists you're gonna see pretty much the same thing.
Which makes me very sad.
And that's even after their point increase, which we'll go over. Battle tactics and objectives can be easy with certain unit choices. You have a lot of options for like deep strike and like the gorgers and stuff like that. So you are kind of tanky on points too. Like yes, they have a low save, but you're it's a lot of meat, right? You have to chew through a lot of wounds.
Yeah, the entire thing for ogres, especially when I was playing them, is don't expect to save anything. Like the entire army has like a 5-up save.
Yeah.
And I think monster trucks have like a 4-up save. It's nothing.
Yeah.
However, you know what you do have? You have wounds, and you have them plenty to spare.
Yes, you do. And then one of the biggest, craziest things in this army is that damn terrain feature.
Yeah.
By miles, the best terrain feature in the game, and it's not even close.
I don't know. The Loon Shrine's pretty great, but
okay, sure, yeah, the Loon Shrine's pretty good. I just think the output that this thing does is insane.
Oh yeah, if your opponent does not expect this terrain feature, it's going to bite them in the butt, and they are going to be ruining the day.
Yeah, the amount of mortal wounds this thing does is crazy. All right. Anything else I missed?
Nah.
Pretty accurate.
They're meaty boys.
They are meaty boys. All right, let's get into the battle traits. Trampling charge is not like what it used to be. It's still decent, but it's not like what it used to be. It used to be extremely good. Now it's okay.
Hey, did you charge? Roll a d3 on a 2-up. You do that much damage.
Yeah, it's fine.
One of the things about ogres is that they have a lot of chip damage across their entire army.
Yeah.
And it's constant chip damage. It's a good addition, but like, I'd rather have it than not have it.
Yeah. Ravenous Brutes makes you fast. Makes you really fast.
All right. As long as you did not do Feast on Flesh, you get a +2 to run. And you might be thinking, wow, +2 to run? Well, I guess that's good. Problem is that there's a lot of ways to get run in charge in this army, which makes you super fast.
Yes. Yep. Very much so. And then Feast on Flesh. That's if you do this, you no longer get the +2 to run, but you're only using this when you need it.
It's another chip damage. It's once per game. Everybody in combat does a D3 on a 2-up damage, and then you heal that much damage. Yeah. It's not much, but it can chip you. Like, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's decent. It's decent.
I've had it win me a game before.
There you go. Yep. And again, you're only going to use that when you need it, right? Like, you'll know when that is. So
you do it like round 3, round 4, when everybody's already in combat. You don't need that +2 to charge and +2 to run anymore.
Yeah. All right. Formations. Black Powder Fanatics is bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's really bad. It's not good.
It's all right. I was so sad about the Black Powder Fanatics, because this is what was like the overpowered one in 3rd edition. But they got really scared. They didn't want to give extra rend to the shooting of this army. And so instead they had them have shoot in combat, which like it makes sense, but like you don't want ranged people to be in combat in the first place.
Yeah.
So
it's just not good. You're just not taking that one.
Yeah.
Prophets of the Gulpin God, I think, is one of the better ones. It's probably the one I take.
You're gonna take that one 8 out of 10 times.
Okay.
It's just a flat +1 casting to all the Ogor Mawtribes wizards, and your spells are good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the only other thing that I can ever see is maybe one day the beast handlers.
Maybe once the monster trucks go down like another 50 points, then maybe.
Yeah. The problem with beast handlers is it only affects the monster trucks, and monster trucks are really bad right
Yeah,
now.
they're not good. They're not good. I in fact I haven't seen a winning list. I'm like talking like a 3-2 list with monster trucks yet. I don't think I've seen
I
one.
I used monster trucks one time, and then it got one shotted by like a Trog hero. Not even Trug. It was like one of the. It was the troll that isn't even a hero
The
actually.
Dankhold. The Dankhold Trogoth.
Yeah, he one shotted it, and I was like, all right, I'm never taking this again.
He must have spiked that Trogoth roll though.
Oh, it wasn't even that. It was he mortal wound,
Yeah.
and then he 6 inch piled in, and then he just slammed in and killed it. And it's like, wow,
Yeah, they are paying the for sins of the past for sure.
yep, I'm the one who charged you, and I just got one shotted.
Heroic traits. These are all really good. Touched by the Everwinter is probably the one that most people are going to take, though. Um,
Yeah, who knew that just giving a hero, making him a priest, is really good,
yeah.
especially because the prayer lore is not bad at all.
I also like Great Gut Lord. I think it's decent. Most things are hitting on fours, so this is helpful for that. Um, I think it's okay.
Uh, so the problem is that you're going to be using this, and you'd be putting it on a, I don't know, a beast claw raider to make it useful, and you're not taking a beast claw raider.
Okay, fair. Maybe one day when Beast Claw Raiders become viable. And then Booming Roar is fine, but there's just better ones to take.
Yeah, another problem that this has is your control score is already really high.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah. Yep.
You don't really need to lower other people's.
Agreed. Artifacts, also decent. I think the elixir's the worst one. It's just too swingy. Um,
Let's see
and
here.
then gruesome trophies is the one that I'd probably take. Add one to hit rolls for combat attacks that target heroes or monsters.
Oh yeah, you're taking this every single time.
Okay.
Gruesome trophies is just because it's an aura effect of +1 to hit when your entire army is a 4/2.
Yeah,
It
I
just
didn't.
makes it so. Yeah, it just makes it so that, oh, are you fighting a monster or a hero? All right, your entire army hits on 3s/2s now.
Yeah, the gruesome trophies is actually a lot better than I remember it being.
Yeah, that's the one I just choose every single time.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
And then
because the other ones are once per battle, so why would I take a
the
maybe?
word rolls can't be made. Uh, it could be useful.
Agreed, but your entire thing is to try to throw as many attacks and damage as you can at one time. So
Yeah, I mean, you're probably taking gruesome trophies 9 times out of 10. So
yeah, the other one would be the Fang of Gur.
yeah. All right, spell lore. Really good, really good. Blood Feast is insane.
Oh yeah, Bloodfeast makes this army.
It is insanely good. It's on a 7 cast, which it can be somewhat difficult for ogres, but there's ways to get pluses. So
Yeah, and that's why you do the battle formation to
yeah,
get +1 to cast, just so you can get this one.
yeah, and it's really good. Add one to the attack characteristics of target melee weapons. Pretty
Yep.
good.
You put that on an Iron Gut, and you kill everything in front of you.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen. Ask me how I know. There's already many ways to get +1 to attacks in this army, and this just helps.
Yeah. And then the other ones. Oh, Greasy Deluge.
Very good.
What? You can give someone a -1 to hit, and it's an 18-inch range.
18-inch range for this. Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. And the last one's just a heal.
Which is fine.
A heal and +2 your control score.
And that's your
'Cause,
unlimited one, so it's good.
like, there's so many ways to increase your control score in this army. Like, taking objective is actually really easy.
Yeah. Cool. Prayer lore, also very good. I think Call of the Blizzard's the only bad one, which is your unlimited one.
Really, you don't like Call of the Blizzard?
Let me make sure. Oh, it's the one where you have to pick the terrain feature, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, they were within 3. Oh, I guess within 3 is actually not bad. For some reason, maybe I thought it was holding
I,
that.
I don't even care about that within 3 because it only takes about Beast Claw Raiders. You know what this does? This means you can choose any piece of terrain and make it so that all of your enemy can't shoot your guys because it makes it obscuring.
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I'll go to this random piece of cover. Oh, now it's obscuring. Now, like my main
So you don't
weakness,
even care
which
about the
is other.
ward. You just care about the obscuring part of it.
Oh yeah, I'm not playing Beast Claw Raiders. I'm not using ward.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's why I did this back. Maybe I thought this only. No, I guess that wouldn't make sense on why it would just be Beast Claw Raiders.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it doesn't say that it goes away. It just it gains the token and it has the obscuring terrain. So for the rest of the
Wait a
game,
minute.
you now have an
Basic
obscuring terrain
ability,
feature.
terrain features, edition. So this is game for the entire game?
Yeah, it doesn't say it's the
I guess
until
yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't say until next year. Until the only on the second part of it does it. Say
yeah,
that.
which is the 5 up
Okay,
board,
never
which
mind.
you
This
don't care
is
about.
this is way better than I anticipated.
I'm going to sit in that piece of cover, and now you can't shoot me.
Well, the fact that you can do this on multiple terrain pieces and it's just obscuring is
And it's 18 inches too.
yeah, that's yeah okay. I completely changed my mind on this one. This one's really good. Um, yeah, I don't know what I was reading. Apparently, I wasn't reading it well because that is way better. I'm moving it up to A plus. Yeah, it's
Um,
really really good. It's really good.
and then the other one, Keening Gale. Sadly, it only works on monsters, so you're not going to do it.
I mean, still
But
good. Run in charge is still really good.
once monster trucks become good, this is a beautiful prayer.
And you also can't deny this.
Yep.
So I mean, I think it's really good. And yes, I understand it's bad with the current state
Which,
of
like,
how they
what
are.
Stonehorns are like a 10-inch move, something like that. I want to look that up real
16.
quick. They're a 10-inch move.
So you get a 16 plus a charge. Pretty good.
So yeah, +2 to run. And they also get +2 to run, so you can
Yeah,
give
true.
them all the way up to 18 inches in a charge.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. And then obviously pulverizing hailstorm is just some more damage.
Oh yeah, I do this all the time where I'll just like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pray for this one, and you just bank it up, and then your opponent gets close, and then you counter prayer them, and then you just blast them with a whole bunch of mortals.
Yep. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Their spell lore and the prayer lord are really good. Man, that blizzard is way better than I thought it was. I don't know. That's crazy.
I don't know what you were talking
Yeah, I don't know.
about with that.
I think I looked at Beast Call Raiders, and I was like, it's not very
Not
good.
gonna happen. See that
Yeah.
I thought that too, but then I was like looking at this and I was like, wow, obscuring's really good. It just gives it obscuring.
And it's for the entire game, which is crazy.
And I'm really really tired of getting shot off by archers, and now I don't have to worry about it. I'll sit in this obscuring little piece of terrain, and once you get close to me, I'm going to run at you, and I'm going to charge, I'm going to smack you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's do. Let's go into the Hero Warscrolls. Kragnos. He's actually so before the points changes. I didn't think he was all that great in this army, but with the points changes now, I think he's actually pretty viable in this army.
Agreed. He was a little bit too expensive
Yeah.
in this army. One of my complaints about this army is that everything's so expensive, except for your spellcasters.
Yeah, which they did go up a little bit, but not enough to really make it
Not
matter.
enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like, are you taking any infantry or anything like that? Like everything's just so expensive. So you take Kragnos, which was 680, and it's just like, wow, you took out like 12 plus models on this army.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, which is a lot. And I would rather have 8 Iron Guts than a Kragnos.
Right. But he is actually useful now. I think he is useful.
Get those Iron Guts in.
Yep. Now, granted, there's another way to get running. Well, I guess with just Beast Claw. Yeah, I actually think he's useful.
Yeah.
Slaughtermaster, you're obviously going to take this in every list, and probably and the Butcher as well for running charge.
Yeah, the Butcher I think is this book's linchpin. I think, especially in the current meta, you have to have a butcher
Yeah,
because the butcher is the one that gives run and charge,
which is really good.
and I think he's the only way to get run and charge for infantry. And so, in order for all of your guys to get to where they need to be, you have to have him.
Yeah.
And like it's a 12-inch aura run and charge, and it's pretty great. But as soon as like your army loses run and charge, you become surprisingly slow.
Yeah, that's fair. Granted, by the time that happens, you know the outcome of the game by then.
Yeah, but
You
if
really
like
only
if
need the butcher for 1 or 2 turns, and then after that, you don't really care about him.
yeah, but if your opponent's savvy and they take out your butcher
Yes,
early on,
it
then
hurts.
you're hurt pretty bad.
Yeah. Slaughtermaster again is a +1 to attacks, and I think it's the only way to get a ward in this book.
The tyrant has a ward for
Iron Guts.
Iron Guts, but like it's nothing.
You're not taking the tyrant though, probably.
I don't
No,
know.
actually,
I like the tyrant.
No, I actually have seen tyrant in a couple lists. Never mind, I lied.
Tyrant is surprisingly good.
Yeah.
The thing about Slaughtermaster is 140 points. He's super cheap. His ability does get +1 to attacks, but it's really weird and awkward to get it off.
Okay.
Because its ranges are like at the same time really far and really close.
Interesting.
And you need someone to stay in the backfield for your terrain feature. And it's not going to be the butcher because he needs to be up there, up in the front of the field. So it's going to be the Slaughtermaster.
Yeah, that's typically how I've seen them run as Slaughtermasters in the terrain feature.
Which means that the Slaughtermaster isn't getting his points for his ability.
That's fair. That's fair. Blood Pelt Hunter's a pass.
He's okay.
I mean, if it wasn't his own drop, and maybe if he was a wizard, I'd consider him, but he's just not worth it, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
agreed.
All right. This is unfortunate.
All right.
Frostlord and Storm, these are all just passes. I mean, unless.
All right. So the thing is that
Frostlord and Stonehorn, maybe.
They're all really expensive.
This is with the points changes too, by the way.
Yeah, they're finally getting to a point where like I might be able to see someone run it. However, like the problem with them is that they rely on you having a whole bunch of different types of Stonehorns and Thunder Tusks, because that's where all their abilities come into play. All their abilities are once per army, and so it really wants you to take a whole bunch of them. The problem being is that unlike 3rd edition, they're a hell of a lot squishier than they used to be.
Yeah, I don't think any of them have a ward, right? No, none of them
Nope.
have wards. Yeah,
None of them have a ward. They got rid of their ward, and I think they went down in save as well.
Yeah.
And what they gained is once per phase reduced damage by 1.
It's just not enough. They're gonna die in one phase anyway.
Yep, which is just not enough to make them actually good.
Yeah, and they hit on 4s, so they're not very reliable as far as damage goes. Like
don't get me wrong, the Stonehorns hurt. Like they hurt a lot. However, like it's still 4s, 2s.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like the Stonehorn, 6 attacks, 4s, 2s, 2 rend, potentially 4 damage. You're missing half of those, most likely. Oh, I lost Camaron. I'll be back. There we go. I lost
there
you.
we go.
Okay. I was saying with the Stonehorns, you have 6 attacks on 4s, 2s, 2 rend, 4 damage on the charge. But you're missing half of these, right?
Yeah.
So you're down to 3 attacks, maybe 2 to 3 attacks. They save one of them. You're doing 4 damage with one of the attacks, maybe.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is you need +1 to hit in this army, which is where the trophy wreck comes in. But that means if your opponent doesn't take monsters or heroes, like you're going to be missing a lot of attacks. Or your opponent is, I don't know, Lumineth or Gitz, and they have a -1 to hit, or
and then you're really screwed.
And then you just fall off.
Yeah.
So like this big tanky thing that's supposed to be going out there and doing a lot of damage, it can fall off really quick.
Yeah.
And it can't take, unlike before, it cannot take a hit back.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate. Even giving them a 6-up ward, like at least you have that, but they don't even get that anymore. So it's really
Mm-mm.
unfortunate.
The Icebrow Hunter,
Pass.
I actually have. There is actually a reason to take him.
Ugh.
It's for
I
one reason and
do
one
not
reason
like him.
only.
All right.
It's a deep strike.
I would take Gorgers.
Well, Gorgers are twice as many points.
Yeah, but at least they do something.
Well, hey, you have a harasser that's
Ah,
has a range
I
attack
don't
that
know,
you can
man.
drop.
And he's his
deep
own
strike.
drop. Like, nah, I'm passing.
No, I thought you could take him. I thought you could take him with other things.
Is it? Is he the? Oh no, it is ice. You can take him with certain, with only the Beast Claw Raiders, which you're not going to do anyway.
Yep, never mind.
So it's a pass.
He goes up slightly for me, but not enough for me to take him.
Yeah. Fire Belly, he's fine. He's a cheap.
You're not going to take him. You're going to take a butcher.
Yeah. Fair enough. But he's
Like-
a cheap wizard. But again, better options.
Yeah, I'd rather take a Slaughtermaster or a butcher than if I'm going to be having an extra one.
All right, we get into the Warscrolls. Boy, oh boy, did Gluttons get the beatdown of this last.
They went up what 30 points?
points, which, like, I get it when they went up 30 points, but like, when you bring up Vanguard 10 points, or you only bring up Iron or Rock Guts 20 points, like, how did these guys get so hammered?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. They definitely got eaten alive, but still decent. They're still good.
They're still good.
But yikes, man! 250 for 4 of them.
6 of them.
Oh, 6 of them. You do get 6 of them. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 250 for 24 wounds and 25 attacks. At 4s, 2s, minus 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean they're still good, but man, they got hit hard in that last.
Their problem, and it's my problem with the entire ogre army, is that the entire army has a 5-up save, and so things die. If you can hit them first, like, they die really fast.
Like porcupine first strike units and stuff like that is very.
It hurts them
against
a lot. Yeah. Still good because it's just wounds. They're just not as efficient as they were before.
Yep. Iron Guts, I still think are probably the best infantry in the book.
Oh, like Iron Guts is probably one of my favorite infantry in the game.
Yeah, they hit like a truck, man.
You get these guys at a +1 to hit, +1 to attack, or even +2 to attack, and they
will melt anything they go.
They kill most things in the game.
Yeah, there's nothing surviving. Nothing surviving that. Nothing.
You
Like,
always
they
reinforce
just-
them
Yep.
because you need to reinforce them to make them at their most potential. It's just 8 of them is 40 attacks at let's see.
3s,
If you get a +1 to attack characteristic, +2 to the attack characteristic, you can get them up to 40 attacks at 4s, 2s, minus 2, 3 damage each.
Yeah.
And then you can attack again.
Yeah. By the way.
Yeah.
So crazy. They are absolutely insanely good.
Yeah. But even without buffs, 8 of them is still 24 attacks at 4s, 2s, minus 2, 3 damage.
Is there a world where you take man-eaters?
No.
Okay.
I hate man-eaters with a burning passion because they are more expensive ogre gluttons, except they said, hey, let's go ahead and give you a really, really tiny range attack,
Shooting attack, yeah.
because that's going to go ahead and make you worth it. And they lied to you. Because they want you to buy their man-eater models, which have been there forever, and they are beautiful, but they're really expensive.
I don't hate their ability, but it's just not worth it. There's just better stuff in there.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
If they went down for 40 points, I might take them.
Fair. Gorger Mob Pack I love because of the deep strike ability, and they're pretty good. They're actually not bad.
They are extremely comparable to ogre gluttons. They'll pretty much have the exact same attack profile. They'll have the exact same attack profile, except I think 1 more attack. Except they can deep strike.
And infantry plus 1 range.
Yeah. They have anti-infantry, and they have less save, and that's their problem.
which is fine. I mean, you're using these guys to get objectives and stuff, and still being a pretty good threat. Like you definitely do not want these guys going in your backline not thinking about it, right? Because they will do some serious damage if you don't take that into consideration.
Yeah, I recommend taking one Gorger Maw pack
Yeah.
in most lists, just because the backline objective, the sneak in there, destroy a piece of terrain,
Yeah.
or even just take a piece of terrain for battle tactics.
Yeah. Lead belchers, they're fine.
I hate them.
All right.
I hate them so much.
So I need to change that. Well, I mean, maybe they're still decent for honor guard.
No, their range attack is a trap.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Yeah, D3 attack. It's not very reliable, that's for sure.
So for 150 points, for most other range units, you're looking at 21 attacks at a 4/3 -1/1 or 3/4 -1/1.
You can reroll one. So you can reroll one.
Yeah, they have tokens to re-roll the how many attacks. So do you want to use your precious tokens that you only get so many times for a chance to get a max of 13 attacks?
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
And still be worse than all the other ranged units in the game?
That's fair. I mean, I don't know if I'm spending money on these guys, but
they're in a very weird position because like they're okay in melee, but they're still the range unit of the army.
Yeah. So we go to the rest of the shooting. Iron blasters are a no for me, especially with honor guard change, which sucks.
They're way too expensive.
Now the scrap launcher, on the other hand,
I
like the scrap launcher. I think it's actually not bad.
It has uses.
This also went down in points too, by the way,
which is very funny.
I like it. I think these guys. I think like you can.
I would take this. I would take the scrap launcher over the iron blaster every day.
Me too. Absolutely. Yep.
They're still a little bit expensive, but like it's not that bad.
160 points for 3d6 attacks is auto wound, crit auto wound, and then infantry +1 rend. It's not terrible.
Yeah, and it can be a 5-up auto wound.
Yeah. I mean,
my only problem is it's 3d6 attacks, so it's extremely inconsistent.
Yeah.
But like everything else about it's really good.
Yep, I do like them. 9 wounds too. I don't know. I think they're pretty good. 160 points. I think it's good. Nobblars do Nobblar things, and
yeah,
they're annoying.
They're a very annoying and effective screen.
Correct.
And that's all they need to be.
Yep. For 120 points, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yep.
We're just gonna pass the Beast Riders because they're garbage. They're literally garbage. How many did they go down? No, they're still 270 and 220. There's no world where I take these. They are way too expensive. No, pass. Oh, I lost Camaron again. I don't know what happens. I don't know why it does that, but it does.
I don't know. Your stream just doesn't like me.
I know. I guess it doesn't. Beast Riders. That's a pass, right?
Yeah.
They're
just too expensive.
They're so bad.
And like even at Thunder Tusk at 220, like Thunder Tusk don't do much.
Yeah. For 220 points, I'm putting something else in. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have an Iron Blaster than a Thunder Tusk.
I mean, for real, me too. Frost Sabers are great for battle tactics and cheap. They're cheap.
70 points. They're cheap, real cheap.
Yeah, and they're 3 health each. I mean, it's not. They're pretty good. Like they just do what they need.
You take 2 packs of them, and then you have some anti-teleporting screens, and then tactic takers. That's all you need.
Yep. Mornfang are pretty good in the.
Nah, I don't like them.
I like them in the current meta. I think they will shift, but I don't think they're terrible in the current meta.
They're way too expensive.
Yeah, 200 points. Because you only get
they're way too expensive.
Right? Only you get 4 of
them.
Yeah.
No, you only get 2 of them. And they only get their banner if you take them in 4 of them. So
why did they do that?
I don't know. It's because they sell them in 2s, but like all their stuff comes in 4s.
Oh, that makes me not like.
And so 200 points is a lie. If you want to get the most out of them, you have to give them at 400 points for 4 of them. And like for 400 points, it's like what, 24 wounds, something like that.
Yeah.
Like you just don't get a lot out of them for that many points.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 wounds at a 4-up save.
Yeah, it's not great. You can't give them the 5-up board with the prayer lore, that
Yeah.
blizzard thing. But
You know what? If they go down points and the other beast
when
claw
would
goes
you
down
take them?
points,
At what point?
so they're really good with other beast claws. That's when I'd start taking them.
Okay. Okay.
But maybe go down 20 points, and I can start seeing people taking them.
Okay. Yeah, at 180. I think that's you're probably pushing it the other direction a little bit.
Well, let's compare them to all other cavalry in the game. Comes in packs of 5. There are 3 wounds each. That's 15 wounds. They'll
Fair.
be at a 4-up or a 3-up save.
Okay.
And so,
that's fair.
and they'll have more attacks.
Yeah. Yetis are fine. They're fine.
Yeah, they're okay. Like, they're not bad. They're
fine.
not great.
They're just decent. They're fine. Great Mop Pot is fine, but I don't think there's any world I don't take the Mop Pit. That's just me.
If you want more spell casting, go ahead and take the Maw Pit. It gives you 1 more cast. That's what it does.
The Mop Pot.
Yeah, Maw Pot.
But the Mop Pit, this thing is just the more this thing does is crazy.
Yeah, the Maw Pit itself has won me more games than anything else in this army.
It's so crazy. Anytime that thing does damage, I'm like, it does what again? Oh, and then it does what? Oh, okay.
You just go ahead and in every single game, I tell them, I show them the Maw Pit, and I say, this thing will do more damage than you expect it to.
It's crazy.
And they don't believe me, and then it does more damage than they expect it to. And it's just like, it's 18 inches, it does that damage? It's like, yes. Yes, it is.
It's great, just chip damage, man. It's just so good.
Yep, it's just consistent chip damage across the entire table.
Yep.
Because you just put it in the middle of your deployment, and everything within 3 units within 18 damage are going to take damage every turn.
Yep.
Its one weakness is it doesn't have too many wounds, and it's a 5-up save.
Regiments of Renown. Are you taking any of these?
Yeah, bigger cruel shot.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You did take this for your team move. I did. This is good. I think these guys are good too. There are other shooting options in the army. That's why I marked them with B-. But maybe these.
But I'll tell you what, all of the shooting options, in the bigger cruel shot are better than all the shooting options.
Fair enough. I mean, again, you used them firsthand, so.
Yeah. The thing is, would I rather have 2 units of iron blasters or the big grit cruel shots, which have farther range, more consistent attacks, and deal more damage? I do like
that kill bow. I think the kill bow is super good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So cruel shots it is. At 340 points, it's just so good.
Cheap.
It's so cheap. Army of Renown.
It's not the worst option.
So I said it's cute, but I think you are missing some key things that make Gutbusters scary. So
yeah, like it will surprise your opponent especially if your opponent just doesn't know what they're doing. Like the roving maul sub action Army of Renown can build up damage very well.
Okay.
But it requires a little bit of build up, and if your opponent knows what they're doing, they can cancel it out pretty easily.
Okay, fair enough. And that's it. So that's all we got for ogres. So again, like we talked about, incredibly poor internal balance. They really need to do something with the Beast Claw Raiders. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just points. Maybe
they just need to point them down. Point them down, or make them more tanky.
Somehow, yeah. So when I made this, it was post, but yeah, expect nerfs to Gutbusters, which you did. They got point increased.
It was decent point increase.
It was 30 points is pretty big. Best terrain feature in the game. I know you said the Loon Shrine's good, but man, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's really Loon Shrine and then the Lumineth Shrine.
Lumineth Shrine's pretty good too.
I think those 3 are the trifecta of the best terrain in the game.
Army is very good on certain battle plans. There will be battle plans where this struggles. Anything with a lot of them, they can kind of struggle. Because again,
Yeah.
you're just so elite, you don't have a lot of units. So
Like you'll struggle with Skaven, surprisingly,
yeah,
because Skaven will just have so many models, and you'll kill them, and then they'll just come back. And especially if there's like a 6-point objective,
yeah,
there'll come a point where you're just not fast enough to be able to go across the board and then whack-a-mole something, and then to run across the board once more to try to whack-a-mole something.
yeah. I marked him an A plus. I think Cameron, you gave him a B plus.
Yeah. Their major weakness is like they're really good. Their major weakness is they have a 5. They're just 5-up save across the board.
And let me preface this by saying A plus for the Gutbusters, right? Not. We're talking like a C for Beast Cloud Raiders. C minus.
I'll give them a C plus. They hit hard. They just die fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Anything else for them?
I really like ogres. They just expect for your guys to models to die, and like die relatively fast, but it's just like they could still do work.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's go into the big boys. This should be quick. Sons of Behemat. So, again, relatively the same playstyle. They did not change much playstyle from 3rd edition. They are still super swingy. The multi-rampage mechanic is still here, except it's just their battle traits instead of on their model, which is cool. Because I think depending on when some of these happen, you can do 2 rampage. Am I right on this?
There's one like sub faction or something like that.
Okay.
Not. I know there's one in the Army of Renown that allows you to do an additional rampage, but
And then they also, so a lot of their Warscroll abilities, instead of putting Rampage on them, they just took out Rampage and it's just an ability.
yeah,
Manifestations? Question mark.
they don't exist.
Yeah.
Don't ask about
So
them.
that's unfortunate for them because that really sucks for them. Especially how prevalent they are right now. And then Regiments of Renown can be good to help with the battle tactics and objectives, and we'll get to that when we get to the regiments. Anything
So
else?
this army, it plays a lot more like unlike before. It plays a lot more. The army's good because of its rampages. And these rampages are what makes the army.
Do you think the playstyle is different though?
You have to play slightly different, but it's
Okay.
very similar.
Okay.
Because all of the rampages are, especially when it comes to the Army of Renown, they're in different areas of the turn, like in the shooting phase, in the movement phase, in the combat phase, in the charge phase, and you can only have one rampage a turn per model. And so, like, you have to be wary of when you activate your rampages.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not going to have it later. And the rampages are like really good in what makes this army.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so and again, I haven't taken out Sons of Behemat yet. I've got them. I just haven't played with them yet. So, all right, let's go to the traits. Basically, these are just all of your rampages for the most part. They are all pretty good. Earthshaking Roar is fantastic because it's no CP, which is
Yep,
good.
it's just roar.
It's on a so I guess it's just your old third
It's
edition
third
Roar,
edition roar.
which is really good. Turns
Yep,
out still really good.
very few people have it, and you still do.
Yep. Colossal Slam, still the same Colossal Slam that you remember from third edition. Still pretty good. You have the Timber as your passive. Yeah.
I'm really surprised. Like one of my favorite ones is jump up and down.
It's a horde killer for sure.
Yeah, because it's just a free horde killer, and horde is usually what kills giants.
Yeah, fair.
And so, like one of the sub factions allows you to do jump up and down twice, and it's just like, all right, that actually is fairly good. When I was playing Night Hunt and I fought giant, it was that did damage to me.
I think my only issue with these and why they're not ranked higher is they're pretty much all on a 3-up.
Yes,
Which sucks, but
they're all really good, but they're all they're all swingy.
Yes. Okay. Formations. These are all really good, except for Stomper Tribe. I think that's a pass.
Hey, that's the extra jump up and down. It is
is.
match dependent.
Yes.
I will admit that.
The other ones I think
But
are really good though. I like all the other ones.
yeah, I think what is it?
The picking another artifact is
I think
really good.
the Taker Tribe is the one that most people are going to
Yeah,
be
and it's good. A
taking.
lot of those artifacts are really good.
Yeah, agreed. Just having an additional artifact for your 4 models that you're probably going to be taking.
And you don't do this for composition. You do this at the deployment phase, so you can pick
Yeah,
depending on the army you're playing, which is really good.
it definitely has its buffs
Yeah.
for it.
The 6-up board is also pretty good, just because you have a ton of wounds. It just kind of helps. Yeah, pretty good. All right, let's move on to the traits. Oh, go ahead.
All of them are good.
Yeah, all of them
Like-
are good. I think Furious Temper is not my favorite, but it's fine.
I can still see someone taking it.
I
You
know.
take that on like, what is it, the Beast Smasher, or something like that,
Yeah, you
or
don't want the Beast.
Gatebreaker.
Yeah, maybe Gatebreaker.
Like
I
it's
don't know. I just think the other
pretty
ones are
good.
better. I just think the other ones are better.
Hey, +2 the attack characteristic. They have 3 attack profiles each. So that's 6 more attacks, and they all hit hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 5 more health is always good.
And then +1 to charge, also really good.
That was very good. Like they're all good. The Furious Temper, you just need to be careful like when you're activating it because it does reduce your save.
Correct. And then we get to the artifacts. These are all really good. I mean, these are all they make them to where they're kind of situational, but they are all really good. Glowy Lantern, so that's how you can get your manifestations, which is good.
Yeah, like at least they're not completely locked out.
Correct. Which I'm glad they made that change.
I don't know if maybe for taking the Taker Tribe because like you get 2 artifacts, but like all of these have a use somewhere.
Run and charge. Let's see.
There's multiple pluses to attack. There's pluses to hit.
I mean, these are all just really good. It's just kind of dependent on what you want. That's why I really like that artifact.
And
trait.
like, all right, do you want to have a manifestation? Well, we have that.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a once per game +2 attack to everybody within a distance? We have that. Like there's really good stuff. And do not discount things like what is it? The Kingslaughter Cowl. Is that what I want?
Yeah, add 1 to attack characteristics of units' melee weapons while this unit is in combat with an enemy hero.
That's so good because all of their attacks hurt.
Yeah, and it's just one better way to get the attacks through because they can be pretty swingy. Okay, cool. Warscrolls. Kragnos probably not useful in this. There's just better options, I think. He's good, but I just think there's just better options.
Like everything hits as hard as like Kragnos probably hits the hardest out of everybody. Maybe not King Broad, but Kragnos hits as hard as any of the people here. It's just you don't get like rampages or anything like that, and you're not you have like half as much health as everybody else.
Yeah.
So like just take a giant instead.
King Broad is going to be in every list. I have not seen a list without him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
He's beautiful. He's amazing. He's cover girl.
He is very good. So he will be in every list you see.
His prayers are great. He probably hits like the hardest out of any other unit in this.
I'm so glad they got rid of his once per battle prayer thing. Now it's just you just get the ability.
Yeah,
which is really
he's just great.
Beast Smasher is really good, especially against monsters. This thing will.
He's the one I had a discussion with Colt because we were talking about it, and it's just he's so he is a great target for +1/+2 attacks
Yeah. And you just
because
throw
his
him into a monster and watch the monster die. This thing
it
is crazy.
just destroys them.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, his attack does 5 damage. He has 4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Right. Even if you get one of them through, it's worth it.
Yeah. I think Gatebreaker is the best unit in this book besides King Broad.
Okay. Okay. He is good. I mean, the Gatebreaker is very, very good.
He's just he's so good.
It's
Just
so
his attacks and just
the stupid anti-faction terrain though is like, come on. Like
I don't know what you're talking about. The anti-terrain feature ability is well, besides the like +1 to.
I'm just talking about the attack, right? Like
I don't care about that. He already has 2 rend. Like he's already good.
yeah, that's fine. It's just
But
funny. Like of course, yeah, okay, get +3 rend on your attack against faction terrain, sure.
oh no, you'll destroy the faction terrain. Like you wouldn't have it anyways.
Yeah, but he is good.
But
6 attacks, 4 twos, 2 rend, 4 damage.
he has the optional if you're super debuffed to
Yep,
do the Blizzard
46,
Punch.
Yep. Or if they are like super save stacked.
Mm-hmm. Or my favorite one is he can shake a piece of terrain and damage everybody next to it.
Yep.
It's very funny when we go to mercenaries, the death mercenary of the Gatebreaker, it just does so much mortal wounds. It's ridiculous. Because he has all the abilities that Gatebreaker does, and he also gains another like anti-horde ability as well.
I still have not seen him in a list though. Have you seen him in a list? It's hard with death because there's so many options.
Yeah, death is really good at buffing each other and other death to the point where you don't really need someone else. Yeah. But I've made a list with him in there. Like he definitely has a use.
Kraken Eater, pass.
So he is.
I hate the objective moving thing. I really hate it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good. I just don't like it.
I don't really care about the objective moving thing. But he is the best support Mega Gargant. He can move objectives. He can pick up 3 models every single turn. He's one of the few that has a ranged attack, and it's 18 inches.
24.
I think his is 24.
Gatebreaker's 18.
Gatebreaker's 18. But like he hits decently hard. Not as good as the Gatebreaker, but all of his other attacks and all of his abilities.
He's the one that I'm getting rid of to put 3 babies in, right?
That's fair.
So
I'd rather have a Kraken Eater than a War Stomper.
Interesting. Okay. All right. War Stomper, not a fan, huh?
So the problem with the War Stomper is that his big attack that all the Gargants have is only 2 damage. And so in order to get like the most out of him, he's only really good on things that are like 15 models or more. Which
That's
you
fair.
don't.
Yeah, two damage is kind of bad. He's only got 9 attacks. Oof.
Yeah, and so like, if that 2 damage one became 3 damage, I think his value skyrockets up. But at 2 damage for them, like it's just not worth it. I'd rather have the Kraken Eater and have a similar output against most things, and have a range attack, and be able to have the same ability, except I could do it 3 times.
So the Kraken Eater has 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks, plus the 3 shooting. Yeah, I mean these guys just suffer from attacks, man. If you're going up against like Slanesh, who gives you like -2 to attacks, you feel real bad. Yeah. It feels real bad.
Their big thing is that the War Stomper pays a lot for his ability to maybe pick up 1 model and then do mortal wounds to another.
Yeah.
But the Kraken Eater has the same thing, except he doesn't do mortal wounds to the other, but he does it 3 times. Mess around
with objectives too.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Then we get to the non-hero scroll, so you only have the Man Crusher Gargant and the mob. I think you're probably not taking, unless you have to, the Gargants, but the Man Crusher mob is really good.
Man Crusher mob is ridiculously good.
I definitely like these guys. These guys are good. It's discounted. They're discounted Man Crushers and are great for the points. They are very good.
Like, it's just, it's not even that they have more wounds, like because it's 36 wounds, but at a 5-up save for the Man Crusher mob. It's the sheer amount of attacks that they have
Yeah.
compared to others, and then where they really shine and where it will surprise people, and they're going to be scratching their head at why they didn't think about this, is the Man Crusher mob and the Army of Renown.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you want to go to the Army of Renown, I'd love to talk about that bad boy.
Let's do regiments real quick before we get to the army. So the regiments, I do think the regiments are really good.
Agreed.
The
Just more
crawl
models.
shots, fantastic, and then the gits also are really really good.
Yeah, it's just more models.
Yeah,
Set them
and you
set
have
them out
more
somewhere.
variety of what you're doing, right? So you're not just one dimensional. You have got a little bit more dimension to you, whether it's shooting or more models or more casting or anything like that. So I
Hmm.
think these are both really good, and you'll see them quite a bit in lists.
Agreed.
All right,
Uh, yep.
go for it for the Army of Renown. I don't know much about this Army of Renown. I used to know it in third edition, but I have yet to really pay
All right.
attention to
This
it. So,
Army of Renown is by far better than the actual book, than the actual one.
so you like King Broadstomp more than the regular book?
Yes.
Okay,
So you lose a good number of things,
you
like you
do.
lose your artifacts, you lose your variation of
A
things.
variation of
Ha-
rampages.
yeah. However, what you do gain is just better rampages, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um, like just straight up, just better rampages. And you get a prayer that you can go ahead and do from King Broad, and this prayer increases the attack characteristic of a unit.
Oh, you easily put this on the mob.
And sorry, I misspoke there. On all units wholly within 12 inches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really good. It's really good.
So, oh, and did you get a 9+ on the prayer? That's +2 to the attack characteristic.
Those mob become real scary.
And it lasts until your next turn,
Yeah,
not
it's
just
really
the
good.
turn that you go here.
It's really good.
So now we go over to that mob of, of 3 babies, and you're looking at an absolute monstrous amount of attacks.
Yeah, they'll pick up whatever they go into.
We'll go. Let's see. It's 18 attacks at fours, twos, -1, 2. 9 attacks at fours, twos, -2, D3, and 9 attacks at fours, twos, -2, 4 damage.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. They're better than any of the Gargant you have.
That'll pick up most things in the game
Yeah,
easily.
yeah,
And guess what? You can have multiple people with that profile
yeah, yeah,
because it's just an aura.
yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, they are big pie plates. So you do have to look at it a little bit, but yeah, for the most
They're,
part,
they're not that big.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Like
I mean, even
every single time I see giants, I'm like, oh, you know what? I thought they would be bigger.
but the thing is it works well on Broad because he's got a big pie plate. So the 12 inches is far.
Yeah.
So
And so it's just this that prayer by itself makes it good, but like even past that, the rampages is like it has a very similar one to jump up and down, except it's just better.
mhm.
Um, and so you have that. You can do mortal wounds and damage people on terrain, and the best thing is that you can do that during your opponent's turn, and it's an 18-inch range as well. So you could just during your opponent's turn, I get a free range attack that does mortal wounds, and it doesn't cost me any CP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You might have sold me on the stomp. I'd like to try out both of them and see kind of what I like. I know I think I've seen uh, more better results with the stomp than the other one, but yeah, I'm willing to try out
And
stomp.
and I'll tell you, it purely comes from that prayer and the shooting rampage.
Fair, fair.
The shooting rampage is really good.
Yeah. So with that, I said that the four big gargants that has because it used to be in third edition. That's all you would see is just four
Yeah,
gargants.
You would never see babies.
So I think that is no longer the most optimal build. I think the babies are now the best build. Um,
To a certain extent, yeah.
Still competitive, and the Regiments Renown are decent. Um, Again, we talked about the Man Crusher. Their stonks are definitely up. The question becomes, what does the future hold for this faction? Because they have not changed in a
They're
while, and I don't know. They need a new unit or something.
Yeah, like if they're gonna change it, they're gonna add a new unit or something like that. Which is I don't know what they'll do, to be quite honest. I want to see I want to see a mega gargant chariot. Just
Oh my
you get
gosh.
one model, you put it on the field,
Can
and
you imagine
that's
how
it.
big that thing would be? Oh my gosh. Um, uh,
You get some cleaners that scrub their toes.
oh
That
my
can be an
gosh.
infantry unit.
Um,
Uh,
so overall,
I,
he
I, do,
gives.
I do change my tier on this though.
What are you ranking them?
I'm gonna give these guys an A, especially because of that.
Wow, you were
Yeah,
so anti Gargants.
I played against Gargant, and I got with Night Haunt. I played against them, and I played someone who was relatively new with the army and did not play optimally, and I won hands down. But I sat there and I was like, that was a lot tougher than I thought it was.
Oh, was that the point and click Gargant game?
Yeah, it was the point and click Gargant game. It was like I won hands down, but I saw that and it was like, if my opponent remembered all of his rules, this would have been a completely different game.
You think they're? I know Colt really likes them.
Especially with the Man Crusher mob.
Okay, okay.
And I'll say like this is I'll give it a B for the normal Gargants, but for the Regiment Renown, I'll give it an
The
A.
Army of Renown.
Yeah, the Army around.
Okay, fair, fair. Okay, so that's it. We've finished. So what does our journey look like so far? Uh, for the most part, we were pretty close. There were a couple things that we were not close on. I mean, we talked about Bone Splitters. I think they're garbage.
I love them so much. They're
Um,
dinky.
Night Haunt is still really good. I think they probably dropped down after the points to an A plus. I still think
Yeah,
they're really good. I
they're
still
still
think
really good. They're
yeah,
just not. I win automatically.
correct. Luma. So this is interesting. Let's see if any of these drop from the point changes. Cities of Sigmar, probably still A minus.
Yeah, I still think they're good. Daughters, nothing really changed. Fire Slayers, nothing really changed. Idenith,
IDK.
they're still good. Uh,
Um, KO is still
KO, nothing changed.
yeah, it's still bad. Lumineth.
Lumineth,
I think they.
hmm,
I don't know. They didn't change any of the Hurricanes. They're still S. I'm sorry. Like, how
yeah,
did you not change the worst unit in that whole entire army?
they made him more points, Joel.
Okay,
I
great.
still don't want to fight them. Like
Yeah, they're
it doesn't
still.
change that
I
much.
think Lumineth will be the top army. That or Zinch.
Yes.
Seraphon doesn't change.
Yeah, Stormcast is still
We'll
decent.
wait till their book comes out. Sylvaneth definitely increased
You know what?
stonks on them.
I will increase mine to match yours to be a B minus.
I think they're a B, B
Like
plus. I think they're a B. I think they're a B army now.
their changes fixed so many of the problems I had
Yes,
with them.
yes. They're still not good, but
Agreed.
I think they're fine.
I think they can actually manage to be somewhat competitive though.
Yes, I with the right list. I think it's if a list comes out with them that goes like 4-1, everyone's going to be running that list, and I don't think there's going to be much variation.
Yeah, that's the problem with them right now is
Yeah.
you're not going to see a lot of variation.
Beast of Chaos are fine.
Yeah, they're
Blades
pretty
of
good.
Corn, it's B minus. I'm putting mine at B minus. I just don't
Yeah,
think they're very good right now.
they changed a lot of their points, but I don't know if it's enough.
Disciples of Zinch is definitely an A plus. It's
Agreed.
like,
I'm putting mine at an A plus too.
yeah, it's like not even a question. Slanesh,
Not an S, but they're definitely an
A plus. Yeah. Slanesh is fine. Maybe an A minus.
Yeah.
I
I'll keep
think.
mine B.
Yeah, I think they're probably the same. Maggokin and Nurgle. You know,
No, they didn't do that much change for them.
I don't know. Well, okay, so I played. I played Jed at Gamers Guild, and
Okay.
he took Nurgle, and he had 40 Plague Bearers, and like
Hmm.
3 beasts of Nurgle and a Guo and some other stuff.
Yeah.
I took my same Sylvaneth list that I did against his Gits a while back. So it's just your monster mash. It wasn't anything like super crazy, right?
Hmm.
And he beat me, and it was pretty handedly. He beat me with that. I will
Oh
say,
yeah, I think Maggot can like just straight counter Sylvaneth.
really, okay. Well, it wasn't a good matchup for me.
Well, like they both don't fight well against each other,
Okay,
but I
fair.
think Maggot can outlast them.
They outlast, they have more bodies, and believe it or not, those plague bears hit like a truck.
Yeah,
The crit mortals and giving them +1 to attacks with
it's
40 of
good.
them is pretty brutal. So
And
yeah,
I think like that is like one of the two ways that you have to fight with Nurgle.
yeah, maybe I play Nurgle. So I think they're probably B. I'd say B. Skaven with the new
I'll change mine to
changes.
a C plus.
Wow, great. What do you think about Skaven?
Um, they're really good at the point game.
Do they come up
Um,
from your B with the
no.
new stuff that came out?
Mm, you know, just because they have more variation now, you can actually
I
play.
think Physic's pretty cool. I think it's too expensive.
You can actually play the priest now,
Yes, yes.
which I think that
Those
by
the
itself
plague
makes them
pack
better.
is huge. Good luck trying to find them. They're going to be sold out everywhere.
So yeah, I'll bring them up to B plus.
Sure. Slaves of Darkness still A. I think they're still really good.
Yeah, super good.
Flesh Eater, they're
I
they're in a
want them
rough
to be
spot.
good. They're
There's
B
no way
plus.
they're an A. Yeah, there's no way they're an A.
No, they're not an
Night Haunt, I think A plus, A or A plus. They're gonna
A.
drop a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I still think they're good.
Yep. OBR, decent. I still think they're. I think OBR is one of like the fairest armies right now.
Yes, yes.
They're not too powerful, but they're also not shit. Like they are really like right in the middle.
Fair.
Soulblight Gravelords, I'll let you answer this.
They got worse.
You think they're worse
But
than B?
no, I'm gonna keep them at a B.
Okay.
But they aren't. They lost one of their tools in their bag.
Torgilius?
Yeah, and Torgilius was huge.
Yeah, I don't know if he was the entire army though.
No, that's why I'm not changing my
Okay,
score.
fair.
But it just made it so where like a lot of their stuff just got like they lost one of their tools. So like Manfred got more expensive. That's what
Sure.
everybody should take. And so like nothing really. All they did is lose stuff, but like
Fair.
it's not that much.
Git's still really good. I don't think the
Yeah.
Trog change was enough, and I think they're still going to be super
Nope.
obnoxious.
Yep. A plus with
Yeah.
their Trog still.
Yep.
So
Yep. With Trogs, I think they're an A plus. Bone Splitters, they're still bad.
I love them. I love them so much.
Iron Jaws, I actually think they go up. I think with the WA change, they go up. I still think they've got really bad counter lists that they go up against, but I do think with that WA change, I do think they go up.
I'll keep that solid B.
B plus. That's where I'm at. Cruel Boys, I want Cruel Boys to be good. I want them to be good. I want
They're amazing
them
if
to
you
be
roll
good.
well.
I know, and I don't roll well, which is why I want to play Cruel Boys. I think their army is so good. I think that first strike counters so many armies. I am just so bad at rolling dice that I cannot play them.
I'll agree with you here. B minus.
It sucks. I want them to be so much better. Ogor Mawtribes. I think Gut Busters. I still think they're probably an A minus B plus.
Yeah.
So, and then Sons of Behemat. You said you changed yours. I'm gonna change it so I have it for future reference. But
Oh yeah, the Sons of Behemat. A good player with the King Broadstomp is a horrifying thing to see.
You said A.
I'll just call it A.
Okay. All right. All right. So that is it. That's all we got. We have finished. We have completed the factions.
Yay.
I think next show we're either gonna do. We have yet to go over the GHB at all, and now that we've all had a lot of time to play it, we can probably make some good like assessments of the battle plans and whatnot. So I do want to still do a show on the GHB.
I can discuss with you my philosophy of terrain features.
That they win games.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And well, one of the things that we constantly talk about, I talk about with a lot of people, is how much terrain and what type of terrain should be on a field.
That's another show we could do for sure. I think that's a very interesting show.
And there's people in our club that disagree with me on this, and
Oh,
I disagree with them.
I'm with you on this. I think terrain is huge on the battlefield,
Hmm.
and the types of terrain and all of that. I think it's a very interesting show. And then the other thing too is, now that the points are out, we still don't really know. Even this, I was looking at this weekend for a lot of the GTS, and they're not using the new points updates yet. So,
Yeah, give
um,
it one more week, and
yeah,
then you'll be good.
yeah. So I think we'll do a show on the updated points and everything, and see where we rank these after that. But I think that's where we're at right now. So
And
again,
if you guys want to see any of see us talk about anything, go ahead and comment so we can actually know what you guys want.
for real, comment. What do you guys want to see? We might have some new content coming, but we will see what that looks like in the future. More on that later. But yeah, anything else, Cameron?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and we will see you next week.
Bye bye.